Hello everyone, welcome to Cardiology. My name is Dhruv Jetwa and this is our very third technical session. So this in the last session we looked at the concept of black boxing, grey boxing and white boxing, which gave us an initial perspective of how to look at technology and how to learn technology. So basically first we learn the black box. We see what that particular system does but we don't know how it does that. Then we get to know a little bit again, then we get some idea of how it does that, and then it becomes a gray box. Then we completely understand what it does, then it is a white box, right? So what exactly is inside this box? So we know what it does, but how does it do? So basically it's a system. What the definition of a system is: a interconnection of components that are specialized individually and come together for a particular dedicated purpose. Like, for example, there is a washing machine, there is a motor in it, there are buttons in it, there are controls in it, there is physical chassis in it, the framework. Everything has its own very purpose and they come together, have some relationship, have some communication, data transfer, signal transfer, or some dependency. Like, for example, the motor holder holds the motor, then the spinner is spun by the motor, then the buttons are connected to the motor, etc., etc. That entire connection is a system. So everything else, single thing we see in the real world, be it a simple click pen, that is a system. We can model it on a paper with a chart. Button down, something 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 happens and lead comes out. And if the lead is out and I press the button, something 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 happens and the refill goes out. So even that is a system. Every single thing is a system. So I want you to think in those terms. For example, I create a system which is known as a calculator. It has certain inputs, it gives output. Now this input will, let's say, call it as x. Now x is not just a datum, not just a single value. It can be a single value, it can be a set of values, it can be anything in the world. Like, for example, there is a room that takes in cars and paints them yellow and puts them out. So that is a system. We can also call it a function, right? For job of that particular room is to take in cars and paint them yellow and put in and output them, right? So that is the concept of a function. Now let us see some example of function. I say the name of the function is sum. What it does, it takes four numbers and returns the addition. That is the simplest function there is. There is another simpler function, but yeah, this is one of the most simple. So what it does, input name of the function, in, let's say I give it four inputs, a b c d, and I set the output to a plus b plus c. Now here I am telling the computer, I am defining the function that there will be a function, there will be four values, and those values will be numeric. And what does it have to do? Return the sum of all of them, right? So that is function declaration. So while telling the computer that there will be four numbers, we show it with dummy variables. So those variables are called parameters of the function. Now a function can be parameterized or non-parameterized. It can either take value and give output, or do nothing, process and give output without getting an input. So that is the concept of parameterized and non-parameterized. Now that we talk about parameters, a, b, c, d, p, q, r, s, x, y, z, 1, 2, 3, x1, y1, z1, whatever. Now when we actually call that function, like sum of 2, 3, 4 and let's say 10, those actual numbers that we pass during the function invocation are called arguments. The dummy variable while defining are called parameters, and those parameters are given real values during invocation, and those values are called arguments. And let's say I have sum of 1, 2, 3, 4 and I store it in a variable x. So whatever during the declaration, after the return value a plus b plus c plus d, whatever was written will be stored in the variable, and we can do anything with that. So an example of that I'll give you in the next video. So till then, stay tuned and keep learning, be curious as much as possible, and I promise I will keep making videos and keep taking this higher at higher levels, but at a gradual scale, because we also have non-technical audience who want to learn technology, and this era of AI You can't survive without learning technology, or at least thinking in terms of technology, right? So that's my aim. So thank you so much everyone. Please let me know your inputs, and namaste. Thank you so much.